Hey guys, I'm Janet on occasion, and today we're playing the Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. So this one is one I fought a second ago. I had to cast it. It was so close. So you can see I am playing as Bretonnia, and I've gone incredibly peasant heavy. I'm against the Empire, so I was thinking if he goes with the whole gunline thing, I don't want to give him many good targets. But I did make some risks. So anyway, so I've got spearmen at arms on either side to, you know, guard against cavalry. Just men-at-arms with shields in the front, but they're backed up by battle pilgrims, the Holy Wardens of Le Mazantal, and also some more battle pilgrims. Also got the Grail Reliquary to make sure I won't have any terror routed, which definitely helps. Also, it does encourage them, so they should stay in the fight a little bit longer. Also, I've got a mixture of fire arrows and pox, and also some spearmen arms in the back to protect as well. Also, got the Fey Enchantress this time, so obviously, you know, great utility stuff. And against the Empire that don't have the sort of the best frontline troops, she can get stuck in the front line fairly well and have that sort of mortis engine effect going, which is pretty handy. It's pretty damn good. And also all the healing is going to be really useful, especially for my two Grail Knights. Now these guys, obviously they're fantastic units, but they are such a risk against the Empire. Just guns, frankly. Just guns, cannons. They just get so much good value out of it, especially the cannons, actually, because if you do hit a unit of Grail Knights with a couple of shots of cannons, they're going to lose like 4, 5, 6 models, and you can't heal them back up because they're dead. So it makes it very difficult. So, you know, not very forgiving. So I've got them hidden in trees, and I'm going to move up my front line. Now, my opponent's army comp is actually pretty damn good for dealing with Bretonnia. I really like this. So he's actually got Empire Knights and Demigryphs. So Empire Knights can take the charge of cavalry, and then the Demigryphs can get in behind and get the really good anti-large armor piercing, which is great. Also, the fact they do cause fear, that's going to help in the front line if it is peasant heavy. You know, it's just really good for just sort of cleaning up units, you know, that are sort of, you know, they've run away once, you don't want them coming back, right? Just charge them off. With the Demigryphs, they'll break very quickly, and you can get rid of them really nice and easily that way. So pretty cool. And he's got the same on the other side as well. So he's got a lot more cav than I do. I've only got 2 units, so he'll be able to get surrounds on me pretty well. So that's very scary. He's also got the silver bullets that, of course, I could not see. In the front line, he's got some great swords and spearmen. So great swords, obviously, can have no problems fighting my front line at all. It's just GG for them, right? They're going to get hundreds of kills. But spearmen, you know, they're just there to hold. They're going to be fairly evenly matched against my stuff. The battle pilgrims should be able to punch through them, though. Also, he's got Voltmother Grim on a horse, which you don't often see, so that's pretty cool. So, yeah, Voltmother. Also, he's got a light wizard, also on a horse, so he can, you know, escape anything cheap. But net of Ammontok is going to really hurt. So, yeah, I don't want my stuff netted, because silver bullets are going to get a lot of damage, especially with the magic damage. They're great against Grail Guardians, or Grail Knights, because that physical resist doesn't matter, because they've got magic shots. So that's really scary. Same with the Hammer of the Witches. Hammer of the Witches, very good cannon, very good for Grail Knights, because again, it ignores all the physical resist, it'll just tear straight through him, so that's really scary. And he's also got some more spearmen in the back, so yeah, so similar sort of strategy to what I like to adopt with Empire. Have a lot of cheap spearmen, just to fill up the numbers, basically. So it works out really well. So, very scary indeed. So I've still got my guys hidden. Hammer of the Witches was trying to shoot at the Fey Enchantress. I'm moving her into the trees as well. So, that should help. So, seeing the cavalry move around one side and the other, I'm actually going to peel off some of these spearmen arms. To basically just to, you know, hold along here, so that, you know, the archers don't get just chased off straight away. Here, I want to get the archers on the Hammer of the Witches. That is #1 priority. If I can take this offline, then I can start using my cavalry. Of course, I hadn't seen the silver bullets yet either, so, you know, I still hadn't seen them, so I didn't know they were a risk. Not at this point. So, still, that is my main target, the Hammer of the Witches. It's still the most deadly, so I've got to get rid of it. Especially because I'd have to go ride around him, and I can't go on the offensive with my cavalry, because he has too much cavalry of its own. He can just rear charge my army and collapse my entire army in seconds, if I let him do that. So I've got to be careful here. I've got to use the Grail Knights defensively. So I see him probing this way. Obviously here I've got polearms. Oh, I have polearms as well, just 1 unit. So I've got them flanking this way, so he's being more cautious on this side with his cav. And here he's trying to get in behind, but I've got spearmen sort of in reserve. So he's having to go basically closer to the trees in order to find his in, which means he'll be closer to the Grail Knights. Probably could have waited a little bit longer before doing this charge, but I charge in. So over here, front line is engaging. Great swords obviously are just going to cleave through everything. But here, if you look, I am just in range. Look, I'm just going to be in range with my archers, so I'm going to be able to start shooting the Hammer of the Witches. So that is huge. Over on this side, charge the Empire Knights. He starts chasing me with the Grail Knights, and I start moving away. And then I will soon turn around and start attacking the demigriffs again. I want the Fey Enchantress to be back up, basically, and I want some cover of trees as well, because he's got more demigriffs coming in this way as well, which is very scary. So I have to start moving my my spearmen. But unfortunately, he charges in with those demigriffs, and it frees up these to go and charge the other unit in the back. Luckily, though, I had routed off those Empire Knights, but you can see just from the charge, I'm suffering so much with these Grail Knights. But, you know, at least I can turn around. Hopefully I can get some spearmen on them soon. Taking some spearmen over here. But I've got the Fey Enchantress helping to, you know, mop these guys up. And look at this. They are taking a ton of damage. If you can get the charge off, you know, Grail Knights will defeat Demigriff Knights pretty well. So if I get a heal off, that would be lovely. I think I do get a, yeah, I get an Earth Blood on here. And I get a, the other one, Regrowth, over here. But my front line is really suffering. This is not looking great for me. In the middle, sure. I've got some archers that are kind of stuck in because of the Hammer of the Witches. Whoops. So that's not ideal, so I need to pull this stuff back. These archers got killed by Voltmar, but you know, it's fine. This is fine, okay? Don't worry about it. Okay, I got rid of the Hammer of the Witches, my cavalry can start doing some good work. So here, I actually decide to try and chase through here and onto the silver bullets, because that's the thing that I can actually catch quicker. But Light Wizard nets me. And this is an overcast one, I believe. Nope, it's just a normal one, otherwise it would have been an area. Anyway, it lasts for ages, so I'm really suffering here. So, amazingly, he did actually get his greatswords out of this. He was really paying attention, so I couldn't get him with the Chalice of Potions, which is such a shame. I really needed to kill these greatswords. So that's not good for me. But anyway, so a lot of fighting in here. Voltmar's doing a fine job. He's just going to be healing up. It's pretty rough. But Holy Wardens are doing alright. I've got some guys returning, so I can start shooting into this clump. Over here, I did chase off some of the demigriffs and things, but these guys are over chasing, so I'm going to bring them back. So over here, finally getting to the silver bullets with my Grail Knights. I've still got 28 of them, so that's not the worst thing in the world, but they did rout off my other unit, so this isn't good. So we've still got some pretty healthy looking demigriffs here, still got some Empire Knights. Over here, luckily, these Empire Knights got absolutely devastated, which is great, and the other demigriffs, I think, have fled the field already, so that's pretty good for me. So anyway, my Grail Knights do come back here, and I don't notice straight away. I would have started getting them chasing straight away, but he actually notices and turns back. So that's a real pity. I should have really tried to give him, you know, get him close to the spearman so I could back him up properly. So here I am. He is really paying attention here, isn't he? Wow. Okay, so I was going to intercept the charge here. So I'm getting some shots into the greatswords. That's definitely going to help. And here, I'm sending Spearmen in to come and back this up. He's got these Empire Knights coming in to try and help against the Grail Knights. But his Silver Bullets are really bogged down here. The Spearmen are going to help. Over on this side, I actually angled some Spearmen around to try and get surround on these guys, but they broke. So I decided to try and break these Spearmen instead. These Spearmen are going to move around, try and bog down these Greatswords for a bit. Once again, I'm having to shoot the Hammer of the Witches because it is back online. So I really need to shut him down. Because any shots this guy gets over here is going to be devastating. I mean, look at this, down to, what was that, 15 or 16 models? Can't really tell, thanks to where the, you know, healing cap is. Anyway, so pretty devastating. Another net goes down on these guys, but I've still got Spearmen chasing, so it doesn't matter. These guys have been run off, so that net, kind of a waste, honestly. There wasn't much he could do there. It didn't really help a huge amount. But once again, I have chased off the Hammer of the Witches. That is great news. But he does manage to get his Empire Knights into here, so I'm going to have to run in this way and move the archers the other way. Over on this side, they did finish off the last of my Grail Knights, which is annoying because 20 Demigriffs is not good. That is not good for me, especially when my front line can be pretty much decimated by all the Greatswords. The Greatswords are going to completely smash me. So Voltmar's in here with his big buffs, and Greatswords, let's see how they're doing so far. 150 kills. Typical. So these ones getting focused down a bit. These knights, they're not going to do well against the Spearman arms, honestly. There's just too many numbers there with anti-large. They're just going to keep poking at them. So now I can rearrange, move the Spearman on this side, so he's going to have to change his mind where he wants to go in from. Once again, still shooting at the Greatswords. Got to shoot these guys down. I'm not going to be able to beat them in melee. Especially because, let's see, I have 13 knights left. That's it. But I managed to deal with his light wizards, so that's great. So I do actually move the Spearman arms this way and keep the Grail Knights chasing the wizard off, because I need to start getting my infantry this way, or else he's going to finish off this lot and then come for this lot. So I need to start regrouping. So you'll see my Spearmen start coming into this area. I've got one Spearman over there, one, well, a polearm over there, and the Fey Enchantress is going to get stuck in. She's got plenty of health. That's fine. I just need to break this stuff. And once he gets chased off, I can bring the Grail Knights back. They're a lot quicker, so they can catch up. It's fine. So over here, I'm going to go for a Chalice of Potions, because the only thing here is my Grail Reliquary. So that's perfect. Perfect place to hit him. So did a good amount of damage there, which is rather nice. So here, Demigriff Knights, you know, with their fear and everything, they're just going to be able to polish off these fleeing units, which is definitely wise. So those are shattered. It's the way to do it. You know, you've got to keep making sure Bretonnia units can't come back. You don't want them reforming their lines. So it's pretty tough. So Spearman at Arms fighting the last of these Greatswords, but honestly, this still isn't great. I mean, Voltmar's going to join in. It's not ideal. But I do have more Spearmen coming. I've still got some very healthy Spearmen that were just on, you know, screening duty, basically. So over here, managed to break this next unit. Got some spearmen over here charging in because they were nearby, but they're not going to last too long. But it keeps them busy for a little while, and now my Grail Knights can start coming in. So with all this big blob coming in, that's great. Fey Enchantress will be able to survive a little bit in combat, so I was kind of hoping that he'd take the bait, you know, attack the Fey Enchantress, and all of this stuff could catch up. But it doesn't look like he's going to take the bait. So here, trying to shoot at Voltmar, not really much point. I'm basically doing more friendly fire here. I need to get these guys to shoot at something more worthwhile, so I'm going to start aiming at the Demigryph Knights, because I've got to shut these guys down. Unfortunately, I don't realise before he decides to run in and be like, hey, look at my bow! Isn't it fun? Stupid peasants. Anyway, so in the back, you can see these Empire Knights finishing off some fleeing units. Wise, definitely wise. Got to use the maneuverability just to finish off these, struggling units. So, definitely worthwhile. So here, I have got these Demigryph Knights stuck in here. I've got my Grail Knights in here, only 6 of them left, but they're pretty happy, with the Grail Reliquary and the Fey Enchantress helping them out. So under the missile fire as well, they're not keen about that. They're being attacked in the rear as they're running away, so I need to chase these guys down. I really need to chase these guys down. So continue to shoot at them. And I'm actually sending the Fey Enchantress over here to delay these greatswords. They're anti-infantry, Fey Enchantress on a horse, she can survive, and it'll do that mortis-engine effect, so I can start whittling them down, which is definitely what I want. And honestly, she's got pretty good weapon strength, she's still a lord, right? So she's no pushover. She will be able to kill some greatswords. So here, I managed to rout off these Demigryph Knights, charge them in the rear, and yeah, only 6 models. Yeah, how's it feel? So anyway, now I can just start charging with everything else. And at this point, he realises it's just going to be a slugfest, just Voltmar surrounded by peasants for weeks. Sure, he's got some Empire Knights, but I've got quite a lot of healthy spearmen and polearms left. So he's going to call it a day soon. But man, that was a tough fight. That was a really tough fight. The fact that he had more cavalry than me, it made it so difficult. He managed to get rid of one of my Grail Knights really early, and that really hindered me. But luckily, I just had enough stuff to screen his units, and I was able to get quite a lot of value out of my archers. Shooting at expensive things. I mean, they didn't get a lot of kills, but I mean, they were shooting at enemy cav and just greatswords basically. Hammer of the Witches as well. They got some value. You can see by their chevrons, they got a hell of a lot of value. So that's pretty great. One of my Grail Knights, huge amount of value out of him. Wow. I mean, he killed the Silver Bullets, a whole unit of Demigryphs, and a Light Wizard, I think this unit got. So that's pretty great. This one basically just routed off some Empire Knights, and that was it. He just got surrounded, which was a real pity. Even with a bit of healing, it wasn't enough. Seriously, Demigryph Knights, they're going to rear charge. It's amazing. I love this combination. The Empire Knights and the Demigryphs, it is superb. Get the Empire Knights stuck in, and then get the rear charge of the Demis. And you saw how quickly, my Grail Knights lost out there. It was brutal. So, yeah, but, like I said, hundreds of kills. Look how well these greatswords did. 174 and 240. Absolutely insane. Absolutely wonderful, that. Great to see. Voltmar, killed a lot of peasants. Fair enough. But all those, boosts and things at the front line, all the buffs he had, that would have helped his infantry out across the board. Wrapping up my guys quicker. Because frankly, these guys are a pain to get through. Just the numbers alone is a nightmare. So, yeah, 174 and 240 kills. God, I wish I had more cav in this army. But, I wanted to go cav light. I want to go peasant heavy. Because, it can be very fun. There's a lot to micro. A lot of stuff for screening. You've got to be very on the ball. And it is a lot of fun. But yeah, one mistake he made is he let the Hammer of the Witches get in range with the archers. If he hadn't have done that, he would have won easily. Because he would have got rid of that other unit. Grail Knights, and I would have had nothing, with enough punch. I would have just had peasants and the Fey Enchantress, and that wouldn't have been enough. So that was the one mistake he made. I mean, 34 kills, and I'm pretty sure that was, mostly Grail Knights. It's not good. It's really not good. It's not what you want to be fighting. But yeah, that's the one mistake he made. If he hadn't have done that, I couldn't have won. He would have just decimated me, especially with the nets. If he was able to net that, shoot them with the Silver Bullets, and the Hammer of the Witches, yeah, I would have lost that second unit. So, yeah. That was tough. But guys, so this was definitely a fun one. If you enjoyed it, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.